If you're interested in videoing your rides when you're out and about, there's various ways to go about it. You can use a normal action camera, you could use a 360 camera which produce amazing videos. But if you want to do something simple and easy and don't want too much work when you get back, one of the best cameras I found to do this is the Insta360 GO 3S. And the Insta360 GO 3S is Insta360's flexible camera that can be used in lots of situations. It's 4K, the actual camera only weighs 39 grams, and there's lots of interesting ways you can use it.
So when you unbox the Insta360, you get the Insta360 GO 3S, you get the action pod, which it magnetically clips in, and once it's done that, it's basically a pretty standard action camera. It's got a nice flip out screen, so you can video yourself and monitor yourself in the screen as you're videoing. So that's the basic camera. You also get some accessories. One of the accessories you get is the clip mount, and the GO 3S just clips into that. We'll look at that in a minute. You also get a magnetic pendant, and because it's magnetic, you can just drop that inside your jersey and connect it via the magnet and you're good to go. So we'll have a look at that too. You also get a pivot stand which enables the camera to stand up, which may not be that useful on your ride, but if you take the base off, if you have a standard selfie stick with a 1/4 inch mount, that will fit in there, and again the camera clips on magnetically to that mount, and you could use it just as a point and shoot action camera. Okay, so that's the basic things you get in the box. What can you do with it? As I said, one of the nicest things about the GO 3 to my mind is the ease of use. So with the magnetic mount, you can pop that over your jumper, jersey, whatever you're wearing, have that inside, and you can mount your camera on your chest and get some interesting POV shots, point of view shots. Simply press the button, starts recording, and you can get some shots like these. What could be simpler than riding along knowing you're getting some action shots, and I can hardly even feel the weight of the camera. Well, I can't feel it. And the camera is clever enough that if you have it that way, it knows you're filming in landscape, and if you turn it round, it knows you're filming in portrait. That's for the basic filming mode. We'll come on to some of the modes later. Okay, so that's one way you can use the GO 3S to get point of view shots on your mount like that. You can also use this mount. So if you have a cap, you can attach it to the peak of your cap and angle it however you want it, and you can get some nice views and nice shots like this. Or alternatively, you could attach it to the strap of a bag, and again it's pretty simple to operate and you don't even know you're wearing it. Now if you get some extra accessories, you really can widen how you use the camera. If you get the magnetic clip mount, that magnetically clips to that mount, and you can either use it with that 3-prong attachment, or you can use a 1/4 inch mount. So if you have a mount at the front of the bike like this, or you can get mounts that fit underneath, which will connect here. Actually this one does do that. I can put the camera on the front of the bike and again get some shots. If you've got a rear mount, you can again attach the camera rearward facing, and again you could get some interesting shots like this. As this tiny camera is magnetic, I can take it off, put it anywhere I want, set it up, and start taking a video. So while I'm riding away, that's still doing a video of me. One of the things I like best about the camera is the interval video you can use. Using the settings on the action pod, you can set the camera to come on every 5 minutes, take a 30-second video and turn off. Or you can change those parameters, but basically you can set the camera to come on, take a video, turn off, 5 minutes later it does the same thing over a period until you tell it to stop doing it. So if you're out on a ride and you have it either on your helmet or one of those other mounts I've talked about, you really don't need to worry at all. You just start the camera going with the action pod and it will come on and record every 5 minutes or however long you set it to do that. So you can go on a ride, you don't have to worry about holding anything, you don't have to worry about you know, changing anything, turning the video on, turning it off. You could have it on your chest, on the chest mount, and it will just come on automatically, take a video and go off. So in my opinion, that's the simplest thing I know of to record a ride. You can also set it to be on free frame video when you're doing a standard video. If you do the time video, it's one format or another, in other words, portrait or landscape. If you're happy to turn the camera on and off yourself, you can just have it on free frame. So in editing afterwards, you can just choose to have it as portrait or as landscape. So I really like that function of it too. Okay, so all in all, it's a pretty good camera to have. There are some downsides, as there always is with everything. One thing is, because it's a very small camera, you've got about half an hour's runtime. And yeah, half an hour isn't a long time. But if you're using it, as I have done, for that interval video, when it's coming on every 5 minutes or going off, or if you're actually turning it on and off, I rarely go on a ride where I'm videoing for an hour or 2 hours. I mean, who wants to sit through a video that long of you know, a cycle ride? If you do, yeah, you will need to use it with the action pod, because on its own it's got about half an hour's runtime. With the action pod it's got about 2 hours runtime. So if you use it with that, or if you're happy to stop every now and then to recharge it, and it will start recharging as soon as you've put it into the action pod, you can then obviously have a longer life with it. But as I said, there isn't really any time I've needed or wanted to record such a long video. So yeah, that is a negative to it, that it's only got a shorter life, a shorter battery life. But as I said, in my opinion, to me, that hasn't made any difference. The other thing is, obviously, it might not have a bigger storage as you could get in another sort of camera. It's fixed to whatever the camera is when you buy it. There's no way of upgrading the memory on this. So if you buy a 128 gig one, that's what you're going to have. Another thing with the Go 3S, you can't connect an external microphone to it. I mean, the audio quality on its own is pretty good. Not necessarily great if you're you know, moving fast on a bike, because you're obviously going to get wind noise, but on its own it has got pretty decent audio quality. But if you do want to connect an external mic, yes, you can't do it with the Go 3S. But if you want something simple to record in one of the simplest ways you can and almost forget you've got the camera on you, this is really a great tool to have.
So if you're interested in getting a Go 3S, you can use the link in the description below and get a discount. Hope you found this video useful and interesting, maybe tempting you to start videoing your rides. If you did, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, bye for now.